remains undefeated as a starter after taking down Kyler Murray in Arizona yesterday. Tua was just shy of 250 passing yards and had 2 passing TDs to go along with 35 yards on the ground. Kyler had over 100 yards on the ground to go along with 283 yards through the air and 4 total touchdowns, but it wasn't enough in the 34-31 loss. Vick, from what you saw yesterday, which QB would you rather have going forward?
Tough question. Once again, can flip a coin. You give me either one of these guys and I can win with them. I love Tua because he's a lefty, but I think I'd be way too hard on another lefty if I had to build my team around him, knowing exactly what I need to get out of him. What I do like about Kyler Murray, and probably the reason I would go with him, is that he's a little more shifty, and he adds a little more value, way more value in the run game, I should add. And that I can do a lot with. But, you know, both of these guys do a great job of passing the ball down the field. They see passing lanes well. They create passing lanes. And, you know, it's 2 young, extraordinary quarterbacks, the future of the National Football League. So I got a ton of respect for them. But, you know, both of these guys played remarkable yesterday. You know, I like what I'm seeing from Tua. You know, he's settling into his role. I had great understanding of the offense, and I didn't expect anything less but for him to win. After, you know, seeing Ryan Fitzpatrick go out and win 3 games, I knew Tua can go out and win some games, taking nothing away from Ryan. But ultimately, you know, getting back to the point, if I had to start a team, I got to roll with Kyler Murray.
Well, for me, I think it's very unfair because you're asking who you want to build your team around, a guy after 2 starts or a guy that started 26, 27 ball games. That's like saying give me a choice. Who you want to build your team around? Kyler Murray or Patrick Mahomes? Well, you've seen a larger body of work with Mahomes as opposed to Kyler Murray. But this is what I do know. In his second start of the season, he went on the road and beat the brakes off Kyler Murray. That's what he did. He outdoed him. Hold on, time out. Skip Bayless tells me the 4th quarter is when you put the money in the middle of the table and says, okay, winner take all. One guy got 10 points. The other got 0 points. Did that happen, or did I'm confused? You told me, okay, Alabama. He was up 28-0, blew the doors off Kyle in Oklahoma again. You say because he got the better defense and all that.
Well, did he?
Look at all
times 100.
Okay. Give me DeAndre Hopkins. I'm okay. I'm gonna give you Devontae Parker. You give me DeAndre Hopkins. I'm gonna give you the other receiver. You give me Christian Kirk. Okay. I'm gonna give you the offensive coordinator. You give me Cliff Kingsbury. How about that? Can we make it fair, Mike? If we're gonna make it fair, let's make it fair.
Well, I'll give you DeAndre Hopkins in the first half yesterday because he had 0 targets. You like that? You can have that.
No, but I think the thing is that they made a concerted effort. I mean, they got two really good corners in Miami, and they play a lot of 0 coverage. It's going to expose the secondary some. But hey, all I'm saying is, Skip, is that it's really hard to say after 2 starts, who would you rather have when you've seen Kyler Murray win Rookie of the Year? You've seen Kyler Murray be an Offensive Player of the Week. Can we at least get 1 year, Tua? Let's just get a year. See Tua start 16 games and then evaluate it fairly. You can't evaluate this after 2 games.
I told you Kyler Murray was going to be a star in his first year and only year at Oklahoma. I told you right out of the box, he's going to be a star. You said there's no way he's too little. And you said Tua is going to be a superstar in this league. All the time you saw him at Alabama. Yes. So are you waffling?
No. I still believe he's going to be that. But, Skip, he's not going to be the electric player that Kyler is. Kyler can throw the football,
he can do more
but he has dynamic leg ability like Vick and Lamar. Tua ain't never going to be able to do that, Skip. No. And so he's always going to be a guy, Skip, that if you... Man, I'm Kyler Murray. You're going to have more guys saying, I'm Kyler Murray playing the quarterback position as opposed to Tua.
Okay.
This is going to be on accuracy.
Okay, here's the point. As much as I love Kyler, he is not as fast or as elusive as Michael Vick was or Lamar is right now. I'm talking about straight line, 40-yard kind of speed. No. He's not in that range. No. But I told you when he was at Oklahoma, these are the quickest feet I've seen since Barry Sanders. And it's coupled with the fact that I think Kyler has twice the arm that Tua has. And for that point, Michael Vick had 3 times the arm than Tua does.
I'm not arguing that.
Okay, well, that's what I mean. So if I'm projecting for future, who do I want to build with? I know it's a hard call for Michael because he loves the little left-hander, and he sees some of himself in the little left-hander, but I got to tell you, Kyler's got a cannon for 5 foot 10 inches tall. It is a huge arm. He's a great deep thrower, and he's a good dart thrower mid-range. Yeah. So my point is, it's not even close because the Tua I see now has lost some of his escapability and athletic. He made one really good run at the end of the game. And I don't know how he did it because I didn't see it the whole game, but he got loose for 17 yards, and it was a big play in the fourth quarter. I give you that one. But the rest of the way, he had 6 carries for 18 yards. So he's not Kyler in athletic ability or escapability or quickness. Or I think the hip surgery took a little bit away from him.
Well, obviously, it's because you throw with the rotation, and that's how you get the zip on the ball. But, Mike, what I was explaining to Skip earlier, there's a difference between rehabbing and training because he didn't get an opportunity to train. All he was trying to do was rehab, get ready for the combine, get ready for his pro day. So he really never had an offseason to train. Now, after this season, no injuries, knock on wood, hopefully he doesn't get any, he will be able to train and build that hip back up, build that shoulder back up because it's hard. When you have an injury in the offseason, it's hard when all you're doing is rehabbing and you're not training, you're not running, you're not lifting the weights like you could because you got you doing a whole lot of band and a whole lot of tubing work. Man, I need to I'm trying to get ready for an upcoming season and get better.
Yeah, you got to get out there and you got to take drops and you got to you got to roll left and you got to roll right and you got to emulate everything that you're going to do in the game and try to do a reenactment of what's to come and what you know. So that builds bone structure, that makes you stronger, it makes you better, and it builds that muscle memory. So yes, he didn't have a chance to do that this past offseason. Let's give Tua another year. Let's let him settle into his role, win some games this year, possibly go to the playoffs, and then get ready for next season. 2021, I think, will be a big year, and then I think we'll see all of Tua.
And I remind you, right now, Tua is backed up by the #1 scoring defense in pro football. A defense that's on fire, creating turnovers, and they got Kyler. We got careless with the football early in that game. Yeah. And all of a sudden, it's on the ground, and all of a sudden, they're scooping it, and they are scoring with it. And it's the equivalent of like a pick 6 for a quarterback. All of a sudden, you're down 7-0.
Well, I think the thing is, Skip, with both teams, because you have young quarterbacks, you can go into the draft or you can go in free agency because Miami still has money. They got 2 1s, 2 2s, and they still got money to go add. They can add even more pieces. Now, if I'm Miami, I'm looking to add pieces for my offense. I'm good defensively, Skip. They got a lot of guys. They put a lot of money for Byron Jones, Howard, the other corner. They spent a lot of money from those guys that they brought over from New England. They got Christian Wilkins. They good defensively.
And they got a good coach defensively.
So my thing is, Skip, I'm getting weapons. Now, if I'm Arizona, you lost Chandler Jones, Skip. He was your best defensive player early. Yeah. But I'm still, let me try to get me another pass rusher to go along with this so I can help Kyler Murray so he doesn't feel he needs to score 30 because he feels like he's at Oklahoma all over again, Skip. If I don't get 30 plus, I ain't winning.
I agree.
All right, Mike, we appreciate all of your time this morning. Always good to have you.
Mike, get your mail-in touchdown in to help Tampa because they need help.
Just when I'm wrapping up, Shanny, always have one more thing to say. Mike, appreciate it. We'll check in with you soon. Guys, next up, did Russell Wilson lose the game for Seattle yesterday? That is next.